Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Medieval Kingdoms 1295. So we can see the siege here that I believe we were able to set up last time. The thing was, there was a bit of a gap in between me recording these videos, so I can't exactly remember what we did last time, but I guess I think we took Bremen was the last thing. And then I was positioning in a way that I would be able to siege Hamburg. And that is what we're doing now. And I brought my entire army. But I want to go ahead and check a little bit first, sort of overall what's going on. So we can see what kind of territory we have and who we are at war with and stuff. So let's see, where do we have the war? Well, faction ownership is what we're looking at right now. So we can see that, you know what, I do have an army down here. Or, no, that's an allied army. That's of France, a French army. Oh yes, one thing that I didn't say that happened in between, as I recall now, is that the Swiss cantons have just massively increased. So what happened was, I think it was the Republic, yes, Republic of Venice attacked Bavaria. And they took a lot of their territory, but then the Swiss cantons made like, I don't know what, and just swept through and conquered everything here. And pushed the Venetians back. So the Venetians have been pushed back, and they only control sort of their home region. They actually don't control the entirety of their home region. The Lombards have one of theirs, and then they have Croatia. But they were pushed back. And then, I mean, France is gaining territory, but they're not that big just yet. The English, oh, I did not see that, but the English are now, they have 2 footholds on mainland Europe. And England is one of the bigger factions here, so we gotta keep an eye out for that. Also, they're allied with the Earl of Wessex, who seem to be holding controlling the rest of England. So it's sort of split in between those two, which is kind of good, because that means that I mean, otherwise probably England would have everything, and then they would be a really powerful force to deal with. So yeah, but yes, also we are at war with Poland, and we can see here, if I go a bit up, so the Polish have pushed in a lot of enemy armies or armies into my territory, and I have concentrated all my troops to take Bremen. So I have nothing to protect against the Polish, but what I did do is I did a diplomatic deal with the Knights of the Teutonic Order, and so they have entered on my side of the war. And so I'm hoping that it's going to push the Polish armies back to their home territory. We can see that their armies here, for some reason they haven't actually decided to go ahead and attack any of my settlements as of yet. They've just been running around, and they've stayed through the winter, which has caused quite a bit of damage. Also, the Bohemians are back in force. They were about to get sort of annihilated by the Polish, but they were able to turn around. I think it was the siege of Dresden, and so the Bohemians are back. And yes, a few people have been asking. I was given a copy by one of my fans of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is in, I believe they are in sort of the Bohemian region, where it's Bohemia, and I think the Hungarians are invading. I can't remember exactly, but I will be doing that. But I think that probably will do better as if with me streaming it, but I'll just have to figure out when. So I think what I'll do is I'll like post one video of it, and then the rest of the videos I do of that will be streaming. But yeah, so you'd kind of know a little bit about the situation of my kingdom and what's going on. So well, first things first, the king's army was originally intended to strike at the Polish, But at the time he moved through here, there was so many Polish troops all around that what I did was I just jumped in between the towns to protect him, and then moved him directly to take control and attack here at Hamburg. But once we're done with these guys, we've taken these, I think we'll push through, and we'll also move all the way up here, and then possibly even move as far as completely annihilating the Danish and taking complete control of this side. And then well, once we've taken Hamburg, I believe I can split the armies off, so 2 armies can go north, 2 armies can go south and deal with the Polish. And then maybe we have to march all the way down to the Venetians, but I think the Venetians are so far down, and also the Swiss cantons have been dealing a lot of damage to them, so I don't think we're really going to need to fight them. What I want though is I want to see about starting to annex a lot of these places, like the Duchy of Brandenburg, which they're actually pretty unhappy with me because I broke off the vassalage. I cannot tell.
I give you welcome.
Let's see.
Let
So
the
I
Lord
cannot
God
use. Oh, I cannot use the option
speak your
to.
terms.
Let's see.
Give words plentiful haste. Other business calls
Join
this
Empire.
day.
I can't click Join Empire if they're my vassal, which is a problem because a lot of these vassal states are really happy and they have the same people and stuff. So they are really made up to easily be absorbed by my empire, but for some reason I cannot absorb them just because they're vassals. And if I drop the vassalage, they become very happy, as we saw with the Brandenburgians. The Brandenburgians? Whatever. But it looks like they don't have an army, so I could probably just walk in and destroy them. Also, yes, interestingly enough, we were at war with Utrecht here, and the Bavarians took it. So at one point it looked like Bavaria was going to even lose its home region, so Bavaria would have been pushed then, and only be living here, which would have been pretty strange. Yes, but without further ado,
Hear us, Lord!
Hear us, Lord. Let's go.
Besieging the settlement!
Let's take up the fight and take Hamburg. So I have 10,000 men, versus the what were they? The Hamburgian forces. What nation is this? What are they called? The Duchy of Saxony, the Saxons. So 5,000 roughly Saxons. Actually around 6,000 Saxons versus 10,000 soldiers of the Holy Roman Empire. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fight. And so here we are on the field of battle. I've got my newly acquired cannons ready to break down the walls of Hamburg. But as we can see, the enemy is receiving a large amount of reinforcements from the sea. Luckily for me though, I'm gaining quite a bit of reinforcements as well, so we've got quite a few, 8,000 men in fact, coming in as reinforcements here through the side. And so if the enemy decides to actually land
turning in our favor.
their troops, they won't really stand a chance, will they, as they're spread out landing. But first things first, let's break down these walls. Interesting cannon shots here, landing on, let's see. Not a single one managed to hit the tower. Wow. The thing is, of course, because the tower isn't really that big. Oh, they can't fire that far? Let's fire that then. Let's see if we can break that. Also want to see if we can break down some walls. Oh, the ships are now landing.
Their gates are no more than firewood now.
Let's see, what do we have here? I want to deselect the knights, and then all the infantry needs to hurry. So the generals gonna stay back, and then all the infantry is gonna push forwards, while we hopefully are yeah, we've destroyed the gate. Let's also make a hole in the wall, and then let the catapult. I kind of want to set fire to the town as well. Let's move them forwards a bit. So it's going to take a while for all my infantry to actually get to the point. You know what? This, I mean, I took my heavy chainmail and I haven't worn it for like, I don't know, at least 2 years or something. First of all, I didn't remember that it was, I mean, look at that. This is like, here's really my arm, so it's twice as big. I can't remember that it was this big, and also I can't remember that it was this heavy. The, wait, have the enemy landed their troops? Seemingly they have, but oh, because of the fog of war and the beach like that, I can't see them. We'll probably see them when they're making their way towards the gate. Shit, we need to get the cavalry over there. Maybe. Can I get the cannons? Kind of have reach. So let's see if we can get the cannons a bit closer. And let's see if we can get the catapults a bit closer as well. Gonna hold fire though, and then I'm gonna get the crossbows. Spread out formation and move forward so I kind of can spot the enemy. Oh, look at that. Tons of crossbowmen. Light bow infantry. Come on. Shit. Charge them before you're absolutely destroyed already. Let's follow them in. Oh, there's already... The wall is already broken down. I don't know how well this is going to go because there's so much bow fire. I believe all the men on the boats are just bow infantry. I mean, this unit right here has already suffered tons of casualties. Okay, let's see.
Our men flee the field of battle.
I do have a smaller chainmail that's not as heavy as this one, and I can probably use that one instead. Because the reason why I wanted to go back to, I noticed that there wasn't I wasn't getting as many views as I normally did, and so I imagine it might have been due to the fact that
broken and not fleeing.
My cavalry was utterly destroyed by all these bloody crossbows. They're powerful as fuck. Same time with setting fire to the wall over here, but still there's a lot of crossbows. Fire heavy shot. We haven't actually broken down the wall, which I do want to do. So let's see if we can break down there. And then if I can get my infantry to actually do what I want them to do, which is attack the enemy. But I think it's the they're getting problems because I'm telling them to attack, and then the enemy unit disappears. I guess we're gonna have to use the generals here to sweep in, but also just to be able to...
Enemy units have been rallied! The men have thrown down their
to actually spot the enemy. So these guys have a real trouble advancing because the enemy is just hiding as soon as they give them the bloody order. And we've lost so many men up until this point already that... Let's see, can I see? Allied men, we've lost 1,000 men already. And somehow the enemy bloody crossbowmen managed to disappear from view, even though, I mean, they're right there.
Breaking off.
My unit is right in front of them, but yet still they don't see them. How many have the enemy lost at this point? Oh, we've almost down to, yeah, we've lost about 1,000 men. The enemy has also lost about 1,000 men, so right now it's kind of even in terms of losses. I'm hoping this will change as
our men flee the field of battle.
Cavalry.
This is a shameful display.
Gets going a bit more here. Pretty retarded that the enemy is able to disappear basically right in front of my men. But we're gonna crush a lot of these archers, hopefully, against the walls of the enemy city. But it looks like my crossbows did not do that well. There's so much stuff to control right now.
The men are running, cowards!
So the micromanagement of this battle is really failing. Doesn't help that I am wearing a way too heavy chainmail. But that's kind of like my gimmick, isn't it? Wearing appropriate uniforms for the time period. But I don't think I'm gonna use this one for any more videos. I'm gonna have to use possibly the lighter one,
a unit is running from the enemy.
Or if I just wear the gambeson. Have we not oh, we have broken down the wall. The wall is broken. Advance the King's army. The King's army, as you can see, all have silver chevrons. So it's a really good army. Come on, get that cavalry going into this mess. Okay, have we... all these men have finally managed to kill off whatever was down here, the crossbow unit, and are now ready to march on Hamburg. Thing is, we're getting hit from the stupid ships.
The unit has used all available ammunition.
The crossbow bolts are so strong. The thing is, I don't want to lose the generals, and seeing here, I can see that they are hurting. God damn it, there's an enemy crossbow unit here. Right here. I mean, some of the visible field... I kind of understand that fact that it's very limited, because...
Dark day. Our general has died at enemy hands.
Oh, god damn it.
The men are running. Stand and fight, damn you!
So one of my generals unfortunately died. I hate crossbows so badly right now. Okay, get the reinforcements here. They're not gonna advance against all those crossbows. I want our crossbows to move up and make ready for the advance on the city. And then, are they all out of ammo now? Oh, my catapults. Yeah, they're all out of ammo. We broke down part of the wall, so I think we can still probably charge in through there. But all the tower is gonna do a lot of damage to us.
The whole unit has been destroyed.
Let's see the count here. We have lost about 2,000 men. But the enemy has also lost similar, so right now it's equal in terms of numbers here. The enemy outnumbers us by 100 men roughly. But the enemy also started with about 200 men more. And we've kind of set fire to the town as well. Problem with this mod is I can't go back afterwards and take the screenshots in sort of the replay of the match. You know what? Why am I sending forwards everyone? We're gonna send these 3 really heavy ones to break through, and then the others gonna come in afterwards. There's a lot of crossbows in there. I want to see which of these generals actually died.
Cavalry, ready and willing.
Let's see if we can, you know what, if we can get you out into... I think it's the unit that has lost the most men, probably. That died. It doesn't really specify who has died here.
At your service.
So I'm just gonna have to look for one that has no, like, hero guy. I think this is the actual guy. This guy is the general, possibly. But there's a hole here, so that might be due to the fact that... Well, this guy is definitely the general of this unit. And then this one... This one. Okay, so the big... It's actually the big one that's lost his general then, I imagine. Yeah. So we can use him to just ride down those guys. Okay, my infantry is at the wall. Shit, I waited too God damn it. They have no shields or nothing, so they were ordered to just stand there, and they lost so many men just standing around. We need to get those blasted towers. I did open up the gate, did I not? And then there's bloody machine guns in the archer towers. I'm supposed to have...
The men are broken and running for their lives.
We're getting more reinforcements, so we do have 10,000 men after all. So we're getting new men. New men are walking onto the field. So now we're up to a count. We've lost half of the troops on the field, which was at the beginning 6,000. But it's, god damn it, it's down to those bloody crossbows. The crossbows are ruining everything. There's no way.
Our men run from the enemy.
There's no good way to fighting them.
Withdraw.
I knew there was going to be a problem because their army was more or less entirely comprised of crossbowmen. I like how when I sort of tell them to retreat and they come back, they just stand there so they lose more men.
Rally to me.
Okay, so this attack. The king's superior troops got utterly annihilated by the crossbows here. I should have opened up more holes in the wall.
The men are running.
So at this point,
stand and fight, damn you!
The enemy though don't seem to get any reinforcements, but at this point we're not killing that many of them. We just gotta keep going at it. We gotta keep going at it. And unfortunately, we're probably gonna lose like tons of men. Really hate those bloody crossbowmen. It's gonna have my other generals close by, so if we got a chance, we can run down these crossbow militias. So brave knights of the Holy Roman Empire are being slaughtered by these.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
These ugly peasantry. Okay, so I want these 3 units to charge through here, and I want the spearmen to go in through the front gate.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
So it's slowly shifting to my favor, but it's because I'm basically like China, North Korea. I'm just throwing bodies at the problem. We're just throwing people at it. You know what? I can tell the catapults to retreat. That will give me more room for more units to turn up. Now we're back in force. So our first attempts of taking Hamburg has resulted in more or less of a catastrophe in terms of the manpower lost. At this point, about half the armies of 5,000 men have either died, are wounded, or has retreated. But we've got so many more men now, and the right kind of stuff. I've got knights, which I'm hoping to puncture a hole through here, where they've actually have a bit of the wall destroyed. And then the infantry will come through here, and I've got so many more troops, as we can see right here. So much more troops. And so hopefully this will work out just fine. First things first, we will get the crossbows to advance within range and open fire. And the first waves are going to be of the sergeants, the heavy melee infantry. They are going to go ahead and attack. Once this attack is underway, and most of the enemy is concentrated on that, this first wave will speed in and try to smash their way in there and attack all the enemy crossbowmen. So my attack is now underway. Oh yeah, we need to go back to normal speed so we can hear the sounds. We have 20 minutes left of daylight before night comes, and we won't be able to continue the assault. And we don't want to wait that long to attack next day, because I don't think my men are up for it. Charge the heavy Saxon knights. I hate the fact that the game mechanic of the enemy sort of disappearing or hiding means that when I tell them to attack, sometimes the enemy unit disappears in between and the attack is halted.
The enemy have rallied their units.
It's like the last attack on the on Rock's Drift. We're putting everything on the line now. Push in the knights. Thing is, with this amount of men, the FPS tanks pretty heavily. It's down to about 10 FPS. At least I think what the main point here is, we're holding up the crossbowmen from firing over there. And so hopefully the men over here. Oh, there's not really anything holding us back there. We can get some more knights in through that way then. And our crossbowmen are doing God's work by cutting them down.
And are fleeing.
Damn, crossbowmen are so OP. All you need is an army full of crossbows, and then you don't really... Well, you need knights to protect them in a land battle. Or in a field battle, I should say. But that's about it. And then the other two will continue forwards into that unit. And our men unopposed are taking the gate. Okay, crossbowmen, I want you to move over here, and now you will concentrate on firing into this mess. This, even at this, I mean, right now we've got 9 FPS, so hopefully we'll be able to tear down these bloody towers as we're now claiming the gate. There we go.
The enemy tower is no more than wreckage now.
And now we don't have to take fire from those guys. Oh, and this crossbow unit
the enemy is
broken down.
They're at the walls.
Get these 3 going forwards. My knights over here, actually fighting pretty hard. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot of close-up views in this, because the FPS, I mean, below 10 FPS, not very good. Well, actually, if I close in here, I got 16. Damn, this bloody chainmail is way too heavy. But it's kind of, you know what? It's kind of an exercise, isn't it? These guys are gonna get absolutely slaughtered by the amount of crossbow bolts I'm shooting into this. But maybe it's time to pull out the knights and then prepare for a second wave of knights instead.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display. The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
So at this point, I mean, the enemy doesn't have... They don't really have a lot going for them, do they? What? Who's reclaiming the bloody gate? It's not going to matter that much because the gate is down and the towers are down. And then I want you. Oh, they're dead. The infantry. Will break through and try to get to the inner circle of town. Oh, all the crossbowmen are now firing over here. Seems unnecessarily harsh. Oh shit, now the enemy gets to feel the wrath of all these bloody crossbow bolts. Oh, looks like a mass rout is going on. Thing is, our men are being collateral damage to this. Gonna pull off, and instead we're gonna have these horsemen here ready to cut down anyone caught retreating from town. The vengeance of my troops is gonna be pretty harsh, given the amount of men who has died fighting at this place. Have you broken this? 90% damage. 98, 100, there we go. Go through, men. Wait, is there even a road in? Wolf here. Is that the general then? Very heavy melee infantry. We need to get in there through the center, destroy the general's unit. Victory should be ours. Crossbowmen, why don't you get into... I can't even fit all of them there. And some of them, I guess they realize that retreating out this way isn't that much of an idea, because all you're gonna run into the other knights. But going back inside town,
settlement burns.
They've set fire to their own town because I didn't fire up this building. It's their own towers here. Oh, I think they're all just giving up at this point. The chance of me winning is... Oh, there's only 59 men left. Oh,
victory!
Now there's no men left. Victory was achieved, but oh my god, was that a heavy battle. And quickly just looking at how many men I lost. I have 3,589 men left out of an army of 10,000. Attacking a town filled with crossbowmen, it's not a very good idea. I probably should maybe try to just siege some places out instead, and just keep a siege going instead of actually trying to get inside. Holy shit, did that cost me a lot of men. The enemy had an army of 6,000 men though, so it wasn't that much strange that I lost about the same amount. Lost 6,500. But still, that's a big loss. And when it will embolden my enemies. Anyways, I think it's high time we went back to the campaign map. So I can end this video and get out of the chainmail, which this was way too heavy. Good exercise though, I think. Or at least for my shoulders. And so here we're back looking at the statistics of the battle, and it turns out that I lost 5,781 men out of an army of 10,000, so a bit more than half of the army. Looking at the statistics on this side, we can see that the King's army is more or less destroyed. Second army lost quite a few units as well. The Holy Roman Empire under Wilfred, the guy who died, his army, also about half of it completely destroyed. This guy lost also a lot of units, so damn. Horrific victory was certainly a horrific victory. The enemy actually lost more men than us, which must be said. They lost 200 more men than us, but still. A loss of 5,780 men. That's a pretty big loss. The enemy armies, like the 3 first there, was utterly slaughtered. This one remains the general and 11 out of his bodyguard. But otherwise, every single enemy soldier was slaughtered, except for 12 men, and 377 that was captured. Can I see? Let's see. Is there a way? Oh, that didn't work. Is there no way where I can see men killed or captured 7? I know that there's an enemy unit. There we go. Heavy crossbowmen, enemy unit. That killed 491 men, almost 500 men from one unit. I don't think we're gonna find any numbers like that on our side. Here we got 2, they got 3. This one got about 400. This one got 300. Their infantry didn't do that well. It's all really down to those crossbowmen. Well, this was a crossbowman as well. So it was all down to the fact that I wasn't able to neutralize the crossbowmen, which was I probably should have in some way. If I had gotten my cavalry up first, or I got them in reinforcement first, and sent them up to the beach to stop all those crossbowmen actually getting into town. Now, obviously, there was already a lot of crossbowmen in town, but if I could have stopped, I could have quite easily, if I had all the cavalry I had at the end, if I had that to stop the crossbowmen, I probably would have only lost 2,500 men or something like that. It's insane amount of men lost taking Hamburg. But now in the main city of the Saxons, I believe this one is... this must be a general I've used before somewhere, or maybe one of the guys that joined us. So he'll take over. He'll take over the Heroes of Lyon. All these armies are really, cut to size. Especially the King's army. Do we have even a possibility here? Trade port. I'm not entirely sure if we have the possibility to replenish a lot of these armies. I probably have enough to continue up and take Hedenby and destroy that. So we completely destroy that faction, but after that it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna take quite a while before we're at sort of the same level as we were before the siege. What would you need? What about recruiting better troops? And there, infantry command. That seems good. But anyways, Hopefully, I'll get something better to wear. The reason why I got this camera back was, as I said, I thought that the views were down quite a bit. And so I thought, well, you know what, I've already done this point, but I want to redo it again. Or talk about it again. To get the gimmick back of me wearing uniforms and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just that people don't like the sort of sword and shield and stuff. And they're more interested in sort of the modest stuff, or stuff when I've got muskets commanding and so forth. But yeah, this hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.